The inevitable had to happen. Pakistan eliminated. Tata, bye bye, khatam, see you. Pakistan have been eliminated after the game between USA and Ireland has been washed out at Fort Lauderdale. So that means A1 is India, A2 is USA. Pakistan, the game that they will play against Ireland on June 16th, has got absolutely no relevance now. Okay, so that is why the rain has had the final say. But remember, for 2 to 3 hours, there was absolutely no rain whatsoever. It was the pounding that the outfield had taken. And that is why it will call into account the question, the actions of the ground staff. Nikhil had done a couple of lives from the venue stating that perhaps the ground staff also need to be blamed for this. Now, gentlemen, when we first saw those visuals at 8 p.m. IST, we knew how gingerly they were all walking along on that patch that was there from third man onwards. Honestly, from what Nikhil had stated, was there any chance that the game was going to happen?
Nikhil was still pretty much optimistic because there were cloudy conditions. But as you also rightly said, that there had been no rain from the past 3 or 3.5 hours now. But the way I think the umpires, they inspected the ground and they, found those wet patches, I think it did become a cause of concern. Now, to be very honest, Siddharth, I think it did take us, back a little bit towards that 2016 T20 series between India and West Indies, wherein, there was just a brief spell of shower, and then they did not have the required drainage facilities, and as a result of that, the T20 had to be abandoned. But here,
And
obviously, it had been raining for a long time from the past few days, but then, ever since, today morning in Miami, there wasn't like really too much, hardly any rain. But as you also said, I think the question has to be asked of the ground staff and even the ICC, that why, there weren't those measures be taken, or why the required technology wasn't being adopted so as to make sure that, the fans could witness a game.
And yeah, I feel it was a really important game for actually Pakistan, because it was really important that the game actually takes place, so that the result it would have been either USA or Ireland. It would have been in favor of Pakistan if Ireland would have went on to win the game. But I think Pakistan and Pakistan team and Pakistan supporters really, and I don't even think that it's going to they are wrong when they will be really disappointed with the fact that the game wasn't able to take place, even though it did not rain till about, I think it has now started raining. So 8 o'clock, about 2.5 hours, it did not rain. Easily a game was possible. Even not a full length game, but at least a 15 to 18 over game was possible. But now Pakistan and their supporters should really be disappointed.
And
okay,
I think
and
we have
let me
limited
just tell
only
you
this
that Nikhil has joined. It is not an audio
Yeah.
disturbance, it is the sound of the rain that is currently happening at Lauderdale. Nikhil, it's really bad, isn't it, now at this point?
It is pouring down, pissing down, whatever you'd like to call it. It is quite heavy, and it was expected, as I was, mentioning in all the reports earlier in the day, that you were going to have heavy amount of rain. Right now, it's pouring. It's only made it a bit more worse for you guys because I'm sitting in a makeshift tent where the
And
roof is
unfortunately,
made.
you're frozen, Nikhil. I think you're frozen. We
Yes,
can't see you on the video.
the
Okay,
frame is frozen. Yeah,
Yeah,
is
it
this better?
looks yeah, a little better now, little better.
Yeah,
little, but
yeah.
still issues. Yeah, you're in a tent, we can see. Yes.
Yes, because it's a makeshift arrangement for the press conference, and this is not a proper stadium, right? They've just constructed a stadium on a ground. So this is the dining area, and after the dining area, I had come to take a bottle of water and coke, and I had to go back to the press conference room, which is next door, which is also a makeshift tent. But because of the rain and the intensity of the rain, I can't step out. I can't step out of this tent to go to the next tent, which is going to be hosting the press conference. It's it's very heavy, but I'm sure with the audio, it seems like even more heavy for you because
Correct.
it's a makeshift tent and the roof is made out of that hard material. It is a a bit of plastic in it. So I think that tin and plastic. So I think that makes it sound much louder than it is. What I'm gonna do is let me try and give you. I don't know if you can see, but that's how bad
Yeah,
it is right now.
yeah, we can see a bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's terrible.
yeah. It's pouring down. It is pouring down. A very, very heavy rain. Let me see if I can open the door and show you even closely so that our viewers know how heavy it is. There you see it.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
this is like,
terrible. Oh,
and
we have
I think
lost
we have
Nikhil there,
lost a
but
little.
it
Yeah.
was terrible. Which is why I will ask when Nikhil joins back. Okay, how is it? Fair is it to blame the ground staff? Because look, you've seen 2 days of really unprecedented rain that you had in Lauderhill. Okay, so that is why. Okay, now Nikhil is back.
See
Yeah, I think.
how hard the rain is. I put the camera out and it disconnected me. The camera could not take the
Yeah,
intensity of
but
the
then
rain.
Nikhil, be careful. There is thunder and lightning warnings in that
Yes,
area.
yes. So
Yes.
just to let you know, it was quite a strange scene that the umpires came out for the inspection. They walked out and they ran back because in the PA system here, they announced that lightning warning. So there couldn't be lightning. And so you have to be indoors. And they quickly ran back. And lo and
Yes.
behold, a few seconds later, it came pelting down. So the rain came. There was no chance that you could have had a game. So as was expected, there was going to be heavy rain a little later in the day, and that's what we've got. Right now, what it's looking like, uh, that it's going to be here for a few hours. So if I can
Oh,
show you the sky,
Yeah, we can.
let's see.
Yeah, we can see
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Yeah, it's fully dark, and it's going to keep pouring like this for a few hours. Now I've suddenly begun to have questions about India's game. Though again, that's about 20 hours away, 19 hours away, and it's expected to clear up. But you never know. The weather forecast here changes every minute, and so I don't
yep.
know what might happen to the Indian game right now. I think the big story is that Pakistan are out. That's a
No
big
Kudrat ka
story.
Nizam.
The finalists of last time are out, and if anyone is complaining about the weather, if you're a Pakistani fan and complaining about the weather, don't. I think the blame lies squarely on the Pakistan team and how they played this tournament. So let's look at the shortcomings of the team. They did not need to rely on such results to go through. They only have themselves to blame. Also, every time weather, rain cannot come to your rescue. You will have to, really step up. And that's been the case. But I think the other big story, the story of the tournament so far, Team USA. Team
Yep.
Yep.
USA making it to the next round in the debut tournament. What a story. What an incredible story from Team USA. Absolutely brilliant. I think
Yeah.
we've got two big stories. The only people that I feel bad about, other than of course, Pakistan fans. Let's be honest, everyone has hope. Sitting at home, they hope. But even the USA fans, they turned up. It wasn't a packed house. There were about 2,000-3,000 people that had turned up to watch the game, and all of them wearing their USA colored stars and stripes, and they came to watch this game. And I only feel bad for them because they've got no game. And if you're trying to push the sport here in the US, then the least you could have done is allowed them a game here, but that wasn't to be. So I only feel sad and unfortunate for those US fans. But yeah, but what a journey. They're going to the Caribbean. Maybe those fans can now book tickets to the West Indies and see their
Yep.
team play.
Two big events after this, Nikhil. USA have also sealed automatic qualification for 2026 T20
Yes.
World Cup.
World Cup.
Hmm.
Yes.
And Saurav Netravalkar will have to push us out of office email for one more week now.
True.
That's going to
He would
happen.
mind. Oracle doesn't mind. You saw in the
Yeah.
interview he did with us. Oracle, his company is more than happy to accommodate that. They're more than happy to accommodate that. So I don't think they'll mind.
Yep.
Netravalkar, anyway, I've heard that he carries his laptop. So even if it's an extended thing, he's going to do work from home and
Work
do
from
his
hotel.
coding, coding and whatever else he does from where he
Exactly.
But
WFH
Nikhil,
is not work from home, work from hotel.
work from hotel.
Yeah.
but
Oh,
Harsh,
that's so.
actually,
It is a huge development for
Now,
USA cricket. I mean, this result, Super 8, maybe the likes of Netravalkar, Harmeet Singh could play in India in the 2026 T20 World Cup. That will be a huge, huge feat in itself. And imagine them playing in Mumbai if they get one game there.
yeah,
yeah,
the
Nikhil,
Mumbai boy.
yeah, couple of quick questions. Let's begin with Shashwat, then he'll come to
Yeah,
me.
I wanted to ask you that who's to be blamed here because I know that it's a great thing because the USA side has now made it to the Super 8, but there was no rain for 3 hours. Somewhere down the line, yeah, Pakistan needed to actually play well versus USA in their first game and everything. But at the end of the day, there was no rain. It wasn't the drainage, the ground staff, or whom should be blamed here that the game did not start for 3 hours. Because okay, today it was really important for Pakistan, but in another day, it could be even India, where India might end up in such a situation and a game needs to take place. And because of such a training system or something, the game isn't played.
Yeah, any
No,
take
I
on that?
completely agree. Completely agree. I think the blame solely lies with the organizers. You had about a good 4.5 hours stretch with no rain, sunshine. No rain, sunshine. How many hours does it take to finish a T20 full-fledged 2020 over? 3.5 hours. You
Yeah,
take 3.5 hours. You had 4.5 hours of good drive pace. 1 hour to prepare the ground after the rain stops. 3.5 hours of play. You could have had a full T20 game today. If not a full, I'm saying minimum. Even if there was too much rain, a minimum 10 overs aside you should have had today, considering you had such a long dry spell. See, cricket anyway, what is the purpose of bringing cricket here to the US to popularize the sport, right? That's the purpose. If you want to popularize the sport, are you going to popularize it by this? The 3,000 fans come up. There's a dry spell for 4.5 hours, and you don't play. Firstly, you can't play in rain, and that's a disadvantage that cricket already has over a few other sports. That's a disadvantageous position. A lot of other sports now have roof. Tennis have roof. Football can be played. Cricket has that disadvantage. And now, in that disadvantage, if you get a dry spell and you can't even fit in a game, I think it's not going to do very well for the sport as such. So, you needed to think. The organizers needed to think, okay, you had ground staff, but I don't think the ground staff, the numbers were great. Maybe you could have employed another 20, 30, people. We've seen it in the past. Multiple. I remember when I was in Sri Lanka, you remember massive ground staff, massive. About 80 member, 60 member ground staff working. Here, there were about 7, 8, 10 at most. They had Super Stopper, so I'll give them that credit. Super Stopper was working. But a lot of rain water, because 2 days there were flash floods, 2 days it had rained a lot. The water had, of course, accumulated. I agree. But then, you needed to put systems in place. You needed to have various other things doing. Even if you had to go to non-traditional things like blow dryers and all, which we see in other parts of the world, you have to do it. Also, I've often wondered
I think we have a problem with Nikhil's audio and net connection.
I think yeah
We lost
he's
you, Nikhil,
back.
for a brief bit. We lost you for a brief bit.
Yeah, could you just repeat it once?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
there is a net
connection
issue
issue.
happening.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I
So,
think this is where even I also had a question on similar lines to what Shashwat asked. And Siddharth, you can like probably give your raw thoughts on this. Um, the New York
see,
leg was the New York leg was pretty much about the controversial pitches. It wasn't really up to the mark. Even felt at a few stages that players should not be playing on these pitches because there was those very invariable bounce. And now when it comes to Florida, the drainage system wasn't really up to the mark. And what do you like feel on this, that has this like tournament really turned into an average tournament even before even before we have reached the business stage?
no, but I think, see, the tournament was already made average because of the low scores that you had in New York. Okay. The only place where you're getting good scores was Dallas. After
Yes.
Dallas, you are now getting some kind of hope in Barbados. But apart from that, look at Guyana. Look at what's happened in Taruba. All the matches have been very, very, you may say, low scoring. As Shashwat pointed out, the strike rate was 98 in US. It was about 105 in the Caribbean. So nothing much has changed in that. Now, as far as this is concerned, see, even in the Asia Cup, that Nikhil had pointed out, there was one sudden spell of rain during the Pakistan-India game, which forced the game to be carried to the reserve day. They couldn't
Yes.
get the covers on at the right amount of time. Now you've
Yeah.
seen unprecedented rains in the past 2-3 days in Lauderhill. Perhaps what could have happened is they could have covered the ground in much better condition and shape. Maybe they could have had a vigilant team wherein they could have mopped up the surface of the covers and ensured the water had not seeped into the covers, multiple layers of covers. But
But
unfortunately,
But doesn't
US.
that just go down to the management by the ICC that has been done? That clearly shows that it wasn't done properly, because the only reason that the water, I think of, that it could not dry up and there was so much damp, could be that the way covers were put, or were they put on time or not, as far as rain is concerned. Even the ground staff there aren't, I feel, used to so much cricket being played there, who could be so equipped to actually covering the ground and being handling such kind of rain.
But that's where I think the interference from the ICC could have
Yeah,
been a lot
exactly.
much earlier. Like, we do not know, what was the time frame as to when, there was a proper conversation. There were proper conversations between the ICC and the required ground staff. But then, if that is the case, what we have seen, that the all important USA Island game was called off. I think there is some gap, or there's some gap of communication, or something is definitely there, which led to this kind of a situation where there was no rain for 3-4 hours, and yet, the game had to be abandoned.
But then see, you look at so many contrasting situations. Look at England. Look at Australia. They don't cover the entire ground. And it's often
Yes,
been criticism that yes, the outfield will ensure that okay, your game will not start on time. Here, what happened was 2 days of unprecedented rains had happened in Lord. Now, because of that, firstly, the US Cricket Association, ICC, they didn't have the appropriate manpower or the staff. It was clearly evident that they didn't have it. So that is why they didn't cover the ground in a better way. Number one. Number two, what do you do if these kind of covers, supposing you had covered the entire outfield, but that wasn't also guarantee looking at the nature of the rains? How could that happen possibly? So that is why it's a 50-50 situation. For Pakistan fans, they have every right to be agreed that yes, why didn't the ICC and the USACA cover the entire outfield in a better way? But then, as Nikhil pointed out, Pakistan are responsible for this predicament. They are only responsible. See, every time an
absolutely,
end
absolutely.
can't happen.
No
Every
questions.
time a 2022 can't happen. Whenever they have won titles, I mean, look at it. Rain, if you look at it in that sense, 1992 saved them. They got that 1 point from Adelaide having been dismissed for 74. And they went on and win the final. Somewhere down the line, the laws of karma, they have to really bite back at you. Because 32 years later, rain has eliminated you. And you didn't play well. I'm sorry. You can't win a T20 World Cup by not doing well in the super over and conceding 7 extra runs through wides. I'm
Exactly.
sorry. You had to do a better job in chasing 120, not 220, 120. You froze. And that is why you don't deserve to be in the Super 8s. It's all your own fault. The weather had nothing to do with it. Yes, if you look at what has happened, the weather that has happened in Florida was much anticipated. About a week back, it was anticipated. Sri Lanka, Nepal was anticipated. What happened? That got washed out. This also got washed out. So that is why I really, really have no idea at this point in time. I'll take this one comment, okay, before I come to the rest of the thing. Close to it, I will firstly refrain you, and I might probably even kick you out if you use these kind of abusive languages firstly, okay? But I will only answer that one part of only 200 cricketing fans are good cricket. Okay. In what way is 77 and 95, Mr. Stewart, is it very good? Okay. If you are, and if you have the guts to answer that, please answer that. Okay. 77, 95, and 119 are not even close to them. And if it's the best World Cup to date, I'm sorry, you have not been watching cricket at all in your life. So get a life, use better language, and then we will answer your question in a good way. But if you use abusive words, you're warned. You can get out. So that is why, coming back to the entire thing. Okay, we have got Nikhil back. I hope
Okay,
this
let's
gets
see.
better. Okay, Nikhil,
Yeah,
the rain stopped, is it?
I'll just, yeah.
I am
Nikhil, can
I
you
am
hear us?
trying to, yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to get back. It's
Yeah,
such
it
bad
looks
seeing.
fine now.
I
Your
can't
frame looks fine here. Your frame looks fine here.
forget the frame. Forget the frame. I can't find a way to get back. It's all puddles. There's like this much water. I've got no
Oh my
space to
God.
get back to the press area. I've stuck. So I've taken a. Oh my god. I'm figuring out a long route from outside the stadium where at least I can put my legs in. Otherwise, there was, water, ankle deep water. So I think I could walk. I think I may have found a slight detour, which I'm taking now, and I should be able to get back to the press box where I've left uh, my stuff, my bag, and everything. So it's all lying helter skelter. Just hold on 1 second, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Okay, just trying to fix my audio. Yeah,
Okay, so luckily the
yeah.
rain
So
seems to
it's
have
that's done it. Rain has stopped, but see the dark clouds on top. Can you see?
Oh,
out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but rain has stopped. Yes, luckily
Yes.
for us to manage to get out, it has stopped. But not so that. But with the rain, all hopes of Pakistan have been washed away. But going back to the point that I was making, we should have done something better. Needed to find a better solution. 4.5 hours dry spell. Should have had a game. You had super stopper, maybe all round covers needed. When you knew flash floods, right? You could have put it at 2 days in advance. It's an inexpensive thing. You can buy it from a market for a few $100s. It's plastic sheets laid across. Just employ 10 more people as ground staff. That does, it's thousands of dollars at stake here. All you needed to do was this, but you didn't. And unfortunately, this is where you find yourself in.
Yeah.
Sad, but true.
It is, it is. I
Oh boy.
mean, the way how the pitch was handled and the way how it was covered, I think they could have done a much better job at this point in time.
See
But
what
yeah,
I have to walk through. Can you see these puddles? I have to walk through these.
looks like you need a super
My
stopper.
my expensive shoe. Yeah, I do. But that's also not going to help. My expensive shoes have gone for a toss. But
Okay.
there's no other option available, I guess. So
Yep, yep,
that's
yep.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is, it
That's
is.
that.
It's not looking good. I mean, whatever is the situation there, it's slushy, it's got puddles, and more rain is anticipated. And we have the next game in the next 20 hours at this venue, India versus Canada. So we hope that the
Best of
weather
luck.
clears up by evening. That's the
Best
thing.
of luck. Best of
Yeah.
luck.
Ooh. We hope we don't slip up. Oh.
Even Pakistan is to play their next game here only.
No, I think we'll have to do some match analysis by the way how Nikhil is doing his balancing act at Lauderhill at this point in time. So there
And
you
Stop
will
even
see
making fun.
Nikhil balancing both ways and ensuring he doesn't get slipped up in the puddles. Go, go, go. And he does a long jump.
Stop making fun. Okay? I'm
No,
trying
because
my
there is no
best.
game, na. So that's why we have to do this.
This is the game, huh?
This is
Is
the
this the
game.
game?
We are seeing you. It's an adventure game at this point in time.
हो गया press?
And there is the press
Oh,
box.
yeah, yeah. Let me show you. It's done, dusted.
Wow. And who had come for the press
I
conference from the Indian side,
I
Nikhil?
deserve. T. Dilip.
Oh, the fielding coach. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did he give any insight on what India are planning to do tomorrow as far as changes and all that? Was that question posed?
Do
Nah.
you reckon he'll answer that?
No. That you see at the toss.
Did he
No,
use the words we're sticking to the process?
no, he cannot. No. The thing is, that could have been asked to a coach or a captain. How's a
Yeah.
fielding coach going to tell you?
Yep. 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 Yep.
I mean, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. But how is he expected to answer that question? Can
Yeah,
he?
yeah, yeah.
We can't. We can't.
Can't,
the
right?
So
only thing he could have been asked is how are you going to give the fielding medal next time?
He was asked not about how, but what happened to the fielding medals, to which he said, Arey, wo to raha hai. What else do you want? He said
Ravi
that.
Shastri had given
But
a medal to Siraj.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yuvraj has come
He
out
had.
once, once Ravi Shastri has come. Once on the first time, on the first occasion, there was this child who came out and gave the
Yeah,
medal in the
yeah.
first
Yeah,
game.
I think for every game there will be a fielding medal if India do well. So I think different people are giving it. I think they're giving
We
it
even
to
had it
Lewis.
for the final of the World Cup.
I
Yeah.
guess.
So yep. So no Kudrat ka Nizam for Pakistan. 92 was one instance. 32 years later, it's not working. Rain knocks them out of the 2024 T20 World Cup, and they have only themselves to blame. We were only saying that you can't freeze in a chase of 120. You couldn't choke in the super over like how you conceded 7 extra runs, and you lost by 6 runs. By the way, so
Yeah.
these were the two finer moments, if you look at it, that killed Pakistan, and it was too little, too late for them.
Oh, the press conference.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes, yes.
We are
that's where.
waiting for. Let's see if somebody comes. I'm waiting. No, good chance. Somebody from the USA team might come.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Maybe somebody from the USA will come. Hopefully, it's Saurabh again.
Could be the captain.
Which captain, Monank or Aaron
Munang,
Jones?
Munang.
Okay.
No, but I think everything
I,
that Pakistan did,
I
all
think
that the
even
Pakistan,
today Monank would have missed out. I don't think he would have played today. Even today, he's got a shoulder niggle, I believe.
Yes, left shoulder
okay.
niggle that had happened. I think his grandfather was there, right, in New York, who confirmed it to you, Nikhil. When one of the fans were there, Monank,
Yeah.
you revealed that. I think it was his grandfather who was there
No, I
in
can't
New
remember.
York. Ah, okay. So there he is, like telling us Pakistan players seeing inspection after inspection, and then after 3 hours, rain came. I know how deflating it must be for them
All
because
that Pakistan would be thinking at this point would be that last ball from Haris Rauf that was hit for a boundary when they had to defend five of the last ball versus USA.
Haris Rauf has got a lot to think about in his entire 2 year career that he's been having. How could Virat Kohli hit that six? Kohli goes out of the ground, Kohli goes down the ground. Okay. He will be wondering, why did I give that six to Aaron Jones? Why did I
No,
give
but if
that
he had to
again
bowl
down
the,
the ground ball
if he
to.
was going for the Yorker, why did he even have mid on inside the circle, mid off?
What do you expect from
Someone
Pakistan?
corrected me.
Ashwat, you are expecting too much from Pakistan. That tactically they will be sound. They'll play modern style T20 cricket. Sorry, this Pakistan team doesn't tick any of those boxes. And that is why the better team in this group has gone through. Let me be very clear. The better team has gone through. Not through luck, not through anything else. USA were better. They gave India a fight, at least until that penalty was imposed upon them. So, I mean, Bumrah gave away 3 wickets. How many wickets did he take against USA? Zero. So that is the big achievement in USA itself at this point in time. So fittingly, they are A2. A2 is now USA. Group A is done. Group C is done. Group B will be done tomorrow with Namibia versus England and Australia versus Scotland. Group B will be
Scotland.
done by
Yeah.
tomorrow, and
Even there is
Group
rain
C will be
anticipated
done.
in
Group C
England
will be
versus
done by,
Namibia.
yeah. Now it's no longer a matter of margins. England, if they win, and Scotland, if they lose, England become T1.
Yep,
So
yep.
that is the way we are looking
Yeah,
at that.
normal chicken.
Okay, so is anybody coming, Nikhil?
I don't know. I'm waiting. See, you'll see it first. Somebody comes there.
Right, 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 right. Okay, so
I'm
yep,
sure somebody is. Everyone's coming quickly, running. So I'm sure
yeah,
somebody is. If
yep,
somebody comes, then I will hang up.
yep,
I
yep, sure.
will abandon you guys and go and
Okay,
listen to the
so
press conference.
Mayank Madan is saying India badly needs a game before Super 8. Can't slip up in the first game of the Super 8. Well, India are taking on Afghanistan and Barbados on 20th. But I think the weather is better, right, tomorrow,
Hey, Aaron
Nikhil?
is coming. Aaron Jones is here. Aaron
Aaron,
Jones, the vice, could have been captain today, I guess.
Yeah,
Captain
yeah.
of
maybe.
the USA team. USA team is here. Maybe I'll ask him a question or two. Yeah. Yeah,
Cool,
man.
cool. So enjoy the
There
press
he is.
conference.
Yeah, let me show you. There he is. Can you see him?
There he is.
There.
How are you going to celebrate the Super 8
I'll
getting into
ask
the
him.
Super 8?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll ask him. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, Nikhil. Enjoy.
Bye.
Enjoy. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye.
So before I could answer, I think the weather for tomorrow in Florida is okay. I think it's not as bad as it is expected to be today, but we don't know at this point in time. So India, Mayank Madan, don't worry. I think they will get a game, and they are going to face
No,
Afghanistan
even if
in
they
Barbara.
don't, I don't think it's a worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a worry. I mean, and anyway, you are going to play Afghanistan on 20th. You're going to play potentially Bangladesh on 22nd, and you're going to play Australia on the 24th. The big focus is on 24th June, not so much 20th or 22nd. But yes, every game matters because you've all but secured your passage to Providence, Guyana for the semi-final. Looking at the way how the groups have spanned out. So Group B is remaining. By tonight, by tomorrow morning, we will come to know. Tomorrow, that is 17th.
Sunday
D
morning.
group, yeah, D group will come to know mostly by Monday. That is going the entire distance if you look at it.
And even there's rain anticipated in England versus Namibia, and if that is a washout, then Australia have already qualified for the Super 8, and Scotland will be the second team from that group to make it to the Super 8 stage, which means that defending champions will bow out.
So both the finalists will bow out then if that is the case. Really,
I'll just
because
meanwhile wrap up the work with the editor. Otherwise, we'll
Sure.
just leave you guys.
So that is why the last question is that my question, Parminder Singh is saying, my question, Pakistan bought back Mohammad Amir and Imad. Oh, sorry. They bought back Mohammad Amir and Imad for T20 World Cup. Now they both will retire again for 1,000
Yeah,
times.
absolutely. Even Imad Wasim, I think, has made it clear that he was just going to be available for the T20 World Cup only. And after
Yep.
that, I think he's not going to be there for their other bilateral ties. But not so sure about Mohammad Amir if that was the same statement from him too.
Even Amir has stated that yes, he might retire from international cricket and then he'll only focus on
Okay, okay.
franchisee
So I
T20.
think, yeah,
Adhikari is like saying, please take my question. If England don't manage to qualify, then Pakistan might make qualifiers for 26 World Cup because England and New Zealand are above in ranking, and if Sri Lanka wins last game, might come above them in ranking. Yes, I mean it could very well happen,
yes.
Adhikari. Now, see, the only thing we know is USA have qualified for the 2026 T20 World Cup also, along with the World T20 Super 8 at this point in time. So
Yes.
Raj Das Gupta is saying easy for India Super 8, all easy teams except Australia. I see India versus West Indies, best two teams in the final. West Indies in home, always favorite in T20s. Let's see, it's all drawing close to that. So tomorrow, there are two very vital games. One is India versus Canada, just for momentum purpose. And the other game, England versus Namibia.
Versus Namibia.
That is a crucial game. If it's washed out, then England are out. There will be no more finalists of the of the 2022 edition. Both are gone. So sad end, a very wet end. Nikhil will be doing the Aaron Jones press conference, and then he may do some other PC videos also. So check that out. And from me, Sid Gulati and Shashwat and Nikhil from Florida, it's bye-bye. Good night, Shabba Khair, don't trouble your mother, and subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Bye-bye.